Hey, it's time for Dirt Daily. I know you were expecting a new one yesterday. Things got a little bit messy at the shop. I didn't get around to getting a video posted because we had to fix a water pipe that runs into the shop and we had no water. Special thanks to my neighbor Zach for helping me. Here's your video. All right, it's time for another Dirt Daily. Today, Jeepin Joe came over and we are going to work on getting this engine out. Neither of us have ever pulled a 3.6 out of a new JL. So there's gonna be a lot of figuring stuff out. What do we need to unhook? What do we need to disassemble? But we know we're gonna start with probably pulling the grill, radiator, and the whole kind of front section. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set this thing up on a time lapse. Joe and I are gonna go at it, and at the end of the episode, we'll kind of recap the stuff that you wanna remember and watch out for, and I guess that's it. All right, we're getting to work. We think everything is disconnected. We are removing the driver's side exhaust manifold. We've raised the Jeep back up. We're gonna make sure that the cross member underneath the transmission is ready to drop out, because what we wanna do is pull the engine and transmission as one unit all the way out. Hopefully we got all of the wires disconnected, all the hoses disconnected, and we will probably find out the one we didn't disconnect when we start jacking it up with the engine hoist. But for now, Joe and I are gonna go underneath and do a complete inspection and see if there's anything that's missing. All right, we're going for it. We think everything's loose. We will find the wire that isn't when we start lifting it out. Engine and transmission all as one unit, trying to come out as one piece. So we'll probably have to get underneath and remove a cross member and fight with everything. But remember, this is the engine and transmission we're not reusing, so we don't have to be super careful as much as we do when we put the new one back in. Here it goes. Look at that. Engine's out. Nobody lost a finger or toe as far as we know. The next step is this thing's leaking ATF and coolant, making a giant mess. So we're going to get this out of the way. We are going to raise the Jeep up and mop and clean and get everything on the ground cleaned and look at all of the wires and everything. Compare all the wiring and plumbing that is on the trans and engine that we just took out with the new one that we want to put in. And then hopefully we can stab the new one in there and it will all just go right back together just like Legos. We kind of inspected everything to see if there's anything we need to repair or fix or deal with while the engine's out, and we haven't really found any major problems. So we're gonna load it up, try to stick the new one in there and at least get the engine bolted in, and then we can move on to the next step. So
good luck to us.
Good luck to us. We have the engine hanging in here, the transmission and transfer case. Joe's gonna get the floor jack underneath the tail of the transfer case so we can try and it's all sitting like this, and we want to put a floor jack here so it can kind of roll back as we bring it down. And it's all just going to plug right in, easy squeezy. No one's going to lose a finger or break an electrical connector or nothing.
No.
Oh, look at that. Oh, hold on, let me catch him up here. Heater hoses.
I'm going to have to come back towards me a little. There's also a nice big crack in the floor.
Engine hoist, yeah, I don't think it hurts.
Hold, please. Checking. We're catching a little bit, but it's nothing. Just looks like it's those heater hoses and coming down. Let's see, what's that? This area I've kind of got a little.
Cockeyed?
Yeah, I've got like things at the top and things at the bottom. So if you were on this side while I kind of, I got this transmission line here, and I got that thing.
Okay.
So I don't, maybe if I wing it a little driver, or go back up a little. There. And then bring it down. So the whole thing, we kind of need another jack underneath the transfer case, like underneath the side of it. Yeah. Like,
It's pretty good.
it's pretty good. Is this one here ready to fall in?
No, it's got to go back a lot.
Okay.
But
Is there, so is this what we're smashing up here? That's slowing us down? It's very close. This side is like, that side's perfect, and this side is, oh, come right here with your pry back. In between here and here. I'm so glad I wasn't trying to do this by myself. I would be so furious by now. Ooh.
Yahtzee.
Oh yes. Oh, this side needs to kind of.
The same deal.
It's kind of right. I think it's just that kind of lip of the thing. Cover your ears. Like we're building a railroad. I mean, it looks pretty good. I think we're Yahtzeed now. Let's put cross member under it, and it needs to go up like another inch. Oh, too far. Okay, I have a bolt in. Hold on. We have like the battery cable way back here. But it's the whole back of the trans is going to have to come down to get that out. But it might actually come out when we get this to drop into the cross member. So if you can put the bolts in. Whoa, that was cool. Okay, so now we can lift the whole car up and use the screw jack to get this guy lined up. And then we're not laying on the puddle of goo.
Locked in.
100% safe. Turn it in. That thing's works loose.
Okay.
Everything blown out. Everything used up from 10 years of dirt every day. Everything a little tired. Everything a little tired, even TV show host. Yes. Okay, let's go up. We got the engine in the JL. We're now working through a few things, just buttoning it back together. The exhaust manifolds, we took those off when we pulled the old engine, and the new engine only came with one, so we're going to reuse one exhaust manifold, use a new one on the other side. We got the transmission and transfer case all kind of buttoned back together, put the shifters back together. The cross member right now is bolted to the transfer case, but lowered down on the transmission jack so that we can kind of work around it, hooking up all the wires and hoses. So kind of the next few steps is finding everything that we disassembled, some of it which we didn't disassemble, which was disassembled by the prior owner, and trying to put it all back together. Joe's over here just for the day helping out, so we're going to try and get as much done as we can, and then My neighbor has a JL, so worst case scenario, I'm going to be going over there and opening his hood and being like, oh, that wire goes there. So it's good to take pictures. It's good to have other ones nearby to try and remember how to put it back together. But for the most part, it seems to be falling back together pretty easily. Jeepin Joe came over today and we killed it on the NewbSock project. The new engine is in, the new transmission is in, the new transfer case is in. A lot of people were asking me why I wasn't going to swap in some big hot rod engine. Honestly, I was able to get a good deal on a brand new, basically 3.6 Pentastar. So if we can get it all back together, then we can have it wheeling that much quicker. Down the road, maybe LS or Hemi or whatever. But for now, get it back together, get it wheeling so that I can actually go have fun. I have a lot of things to button up, but for the most part, the engine is in, a transmission transfer case, exhaust is hooked back up, and now we have to plug in a bunch of stuff. But that's it for this Dirt Daily. Good weekend. Thanks, Jeepin Joe, for coming over. Let's get out of here.